In episode 195 of the Moving Beyond Being Good podcast, I shared with you my top 5 mistakes that I've made that have cost me millions of dollars. Let's flip it around and focus on the successes that have equally generated millions of dollars on the other side of the ledger. You don't get to stay in business if you're not doing some things correct along the way. These folks are my top 5 business lessons for you to copy, to emulate, to mimic in your business so that you can create success over a long period of time.
Hi folks, welcome to the Moving Beyond Being Good podcast by Gary Ryan from Organisations That Matter. In this podcast, Gary shares everything about servant leadership, service leadership, authentic leadership, how to create high performance cultures, service excellence and life balance. Here's your host, Gary Ryan.
Hi folks, this is Gary Ryan and this is me celebrating 18 years in business. And these are my top 5 success actions that I'm going to be sharing with you in this episode. In episode 195 of the Moving Beyond Being Good podcast, I shared with you my top 5 mistakes that I've made that have cost me millions of dollars. Let's flip it around and focus on the successes that have equally generated millions of dollars on the other side of the ledger. You don't get to stay in business if you're not doing some things correct along the way. These folks are my top 5 business lessons for you to copy, to emulate, to mimic in your business so that you can create success over a long period of time. I've been very, very fortunate to have so many great clients, including new ones that we've just started working with in 2025. So shout out to NovaFit, especially for their long-term program that we're doing in the leadership space, and also with Southeast Buses, Dillon Bus Charter Services, where we're also doing some great work with them as well. A couple of brand new clients in 2025. And of course, there's more to come. So number 5 on my top 5 success actions list is publishing books. You can see these books above me. I've actually published 8 books over the journey, 5 of them with the extraordinary Alison Wheeler. We've been fortunate across the journey that 7 of the 8 books have been bestsellers, top 3 or better on Amazon in their category. And we've been absolutely delighted to do that. We've also got Disruption, Leadership Matters, and Yes for Success that are available as audiobooks and have done exceptionally well in the audiobook space as well. As you can see, these books are available in ebook format. They're available, some of them in physical and paperback and hardback versions, as well as the audiobook versions. And the 2 at the end also have online courses that go with them too. Now, the point with publishing books and being present on social media, going live on YouTube right now, as an example, has been absolutely essential for the success over the journey. In fact, LinkedIn in particular as a social media platform, I've been present there since 2009, a relatively early adopter for LinkedIn if you look at it from that perspective. And the amount of work that I've picked up over time because of people being able to see my authenticity, the fact that I'm ever present there, I'm constantly looking to add value on that platform. I have people come out and reach out to me that when they get into a position of authority where they could engage my services, I want to be the first person they think of. And in some instances, it's 10, 12-year gaps since I actually work with someone, and then they're now finally in a position where they can reach out. They're check signer now, they've got the authority, and they can reach out and communicate with me, and we have a conversation about me providing some services for them. If I wasn't there, if I wasn't regular, if I came and went every once in a while, if I wasn't consistent, that wouldn't happen. So those consistent presences on being on social media and also publishing these books, so I've got this constant set of resources that I can be providing to people. I mean, books are a fantastic marketing activity for anyone to do. I strongly advise you folks to be able to create that content so that you can share it, and it gives you some credibility in the marketplace. In fact, just before I tuned in to start recording this episode, our YouTube channel just ticked over 44,000 subscribers. So thank you to all you folk out there in YouTube that have been supporting our channel, particularly over the last 20 months or so, as we've really been putting some focus and effort into the channel. So that's all the number 5 on my success actions. Number 4 on the success actions list is that I've always been looking at my customers from a lifetime customer perspective. A huge shout out to Monash University. Been a customer for all 18 years of my existence, and we have a contract rolling into the 19th year of our partnership working together. I am an alum of Monash University. They're close to my heart, and I've worked with so many incredible people at Monash University over the journey in the education space that I do, helping people perform at their best, both in a student, often currently now mostly in the graduate student space. And not that I teach academically, these are all non-academic programs that I'm involved with, but also in the coaching that I do and the development of leaders within Monash University itself from a staff perspective. So big shout out to all of you. It's been a pleasure to work with you for so long, joining me in our 19th year of our partnership, and having that lifetime perspective is critical. Other organisations like MAB Corporation, I'm going into my 14th year of ongoing work there, serving the development of leaders in that organisation. And the leaders there, it's been a pleasure to travel such an extensive journey with you. And that has, again, come about from this perspective of every time I start working with someone, I have the perspective that these people are going to be lifetime customers. Of course, it doesn't always work out like that, but for those that have been more in that space, it's just an absolute delight to work with those folk, to get to know them, and to be trusted by the organisations for so long. The University of Melbourne, again, we're rolling into our 12th year now of ongoing services, particularly in the area of the university sport, MU Sport, and providing some support and help with them. So shout out to everyone from MU Sport. You know I love you. You know I love working with you. I know I love the passion behind what you do and the important role that you provide for both the students and staff and community of the University of Melbourne, not just at the city campus as well, because we've had the pleasure of having work at the rural campuses around the state as well. It's been a pleasure with you, working with you. And I'm also moving into my 9th year now of consecutive service with MAB Corporation, and not with MAB Corporation, we've already mentioned them, with Metro Trains Melbourne. And so that's, again, been a really great pleasure to work with Metro Trains Melbourne for 9 years now in the leadership space, coaching space for the leaders. It's great that you trust me to work with your people, and I've met so many incredible people in Metro Trains Melbourne over such a long journey. It's just an absolute pleasure that relationship is getting to continue. And of course, Eric Jones Stair Building Group. Daniel, all the owner of the business, and all your team are just incredible people for me to work with. Sandra Mariachi, all back, trusting me in the first instance to bring me in to do work with Eric Jones Stair Building Group, and the great team of leaders that I get to work with. Some might call them foremen in the old school language, but we've been working together since 2019. And you know, some of the things that we did during the pandemic. So this year being 2025, we're actually moving into our 8th year of that relationship. It's amazing how time flies. So again, this comes from number 4 practice, success action that I've been doing in the 18 years of my business. I'm always looking at having new clients coming in and being lifetime customers. Now, for that to happen, I always have to do number 3, my number 3 success action. And that is, I've always been looking at creating new programs, creating new content, again, evidenced by the books. So you see a number of these success actions are interdependent, folks. And I have to be able to provide more values. I can't just sit on my hands and not add more value. So there's a very strong marketplace out there. It's very competitive. I've got to be constantly looking at how can I add more value to the programs, to the existing customers that we've got. So for example, Alison Wheeler and I are in the process of creating a brand new startup business program. All of the current members of our Scale Fast program, which is for people that could be in the startup phase, but in most instances are in relatively new and or existing businesses who are looking to grow their revenue, they're all going to get access to that program as a bonus. So those sorts of activities have helped to create the relationships where people keep coming back. So that's number 3 on my list of my top 5 actions that have enabled me to be in business successfully for 18 years now. Number 2 is always been looking to improve my skill set, doing my ongoing professional development, looking at where are my gaps, what do I need to do to get better at what I'm doing, which enables me to create new programs, which enables me to create new content, which enables me to serve my customers better. That's the whole intent of me having to elevate and go to the next level with my skill set and building my understanding. I'm a voracious reader, audiobooks, but it's not just doing that. I really want to emphasize this. I think sometimes people can be listening to material, but you've actually got to be listening from a curiosity perspective of how might I be able to use this in my business to serve my clients right now. So I take copious notes. I actually have a system where I might have the audio book and the Kindle version. And while I'm listening, while I'm walking or exercising or something like that, maybe while I might even be driving to a client, I'm noting which chapter, which section of a chapter that piece of information was really interesting and I want to understand it better. And also I've got an idea from it that I could apply to my business. I then come back, go to my Kindle, highlight it. And Kindle has a great functionality where I can turn that into a photo and send that photo or say download that photo to myself. I then upload those photos to where I have the books on my computer. And that way I've got a record of the notes that I'm taking, but also equally I have my own physical notebooks where I take that information and I'm actually writing down how might I use it for this client? How might I use it in this situation? How can I use this to catalyze my own content? Obviously with acknowledgement of where it's come from. So the number two thing that I've done to enable my business to be successful for 18 years now is to continually grow and learn and increase my own knowledge, my own wisdom, if you like, that I've been able to pull together over 18 years in business and how that flows into the other 4 lessons that we've shared with you so far. Now, the number one, folks, success action that I believe I've done over the 18 years of being in my business, Organizations That Matter, is that I've treated every single customer as if they are the number one customer. Now, of course, my customers know that I have other clients and customers. They know that. But other than when I'm using them as examples for something that would be useful for my current client to help them understand that there are other people taking certain actions, for example, other than that, my customers really don't care about my other clients, and they don't care on some levels even that they exist. They know that they exist, and of course they care about them as human beings, but they really don't actually care when I'm working with them. They want me to be focused on them 100%. So talking about other clients in a really unrelated, irrelevant way, or maybe trying to big note yourself about talking about other clients to another client is not particularly useful. They don't really want to hear it. What they want is you focused on them, and they want to be treated as number one. And so you have to be absolutely very mindful and in the moment and conscious of how you're communicating with each of your clients to make sure that they do in fact feel like they are number one on your list. Now, for the many number ones that I have in my list that I haven't mentioned yet, there's just a few that I'd like to share. So Nutrien Ag Solutions, I had a very long relationship with you. So just a shout out to all of your folks. The City of Whitehorse, many years of doing a great deal of work. So many wonderful people there. Lavazza Australia, what a terrific organization. And we all know great coffee. Viva Energy, had some amazing experience of working with some great leaders throughout Viva Energy and help develop them on site. We've also got the SureFact Group. What an amazing organization that's absolutely going places. We've got RANZCOG, the Royal Australian and New Zealand College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. We've got Beeline, the Program Group. What a huge organization. Homewood Consulting, Mannix College. I've loved working with you and the students in that space. RMIT University, Perth, City of Perth. I've also worked with PRP Geelong, Warrnambool and Mount Gambier. A great shout out to Gareth Kent and his team at PRP Geelong, Warrnambool and Mount Gambier. And also, as we've said, our new clients that have joined us more recently. Of course, there are many more, but they're ones that I've had the pleasure of working with over multiple years across the journey of Organizations That Matter. So folks, there you have it. The 5 top success actions that I've done over my journey in 18 years. A quick recap. So publishing books and being present on social media, especially LinkedIn, and having the YouTube channel. Number 4, always looking at my customers from a lifetime customer perspective. Number 3, always looking to create new programs and create new content and add more value. Number 2, always looking to improve me and my skill set, always learning. That's a certain Encore Imparo. Many of you would understand that from Monash University. And finally, treating every single customer like number one. Folks, I'm Gary Ryan, founder and host of the Moving Beyond Being Good podcast. I hope these 5 lessons have been useful for you in your journey, in your success journey. And I look forward to you both subscribing and liking this episode. So of course, when you subscribe, it really does help the channel. It helps me be able to reach out and get high quality guests to come on so we can give great information for free to you. And also by like the episodes, you help the episodes with the algorithms. You know how all of that works. We love a comment too. It's an area where I am working hard to get more comments on these. So if you've got any comments about what you think maybe I've missed, what would be a success action that maybe you've done over a long period of time in your business that you think I should have added to my top list of 5. Once again, I'm Gary Ryan. I look forward to having you join us for episode 197 of the Moving Beyond Being Good podcast. We've got an extraordinary guest, one of Australia's AI experts who's coming back for his second interview with us on the podcast. We look forward to seeing you then. Bye.